So again, it seems like back in April, like you mentioned, Anthony Joshua fought Franklin instead of fighting Gillet. You guys fought Joe Joyce. It seems like December's another good time for you guys to have that fight. You know, what's next for Gillet, and is that something that you guys are looking to get involved in?
Do you know who you're not hearing from in this whole thing? You're not hearing from Anthony Joshua. He's kicking the football with his football idol. He's doing different things over there. You know, Eddie Hearn he's like a used car salesman. He sell you whatever that feels good to you at the moment in time. He's very creative with his wording and how to promote his fighters and how to promote himself. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, you know. But Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fight any punchers unless you're paying him crazy amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm almost me personally. I almost think that Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fight anymore. He just wanted looking for the biggest cash out. So me personally, when I hear Eddie Hearn talk about Gillet fighting Anthony Joshua, he just doing that to distract or to get Deontay Wilder more so they could come to a deal or something like that. You know, I don't really listen to that anymore. I only follow Eddie Hearn actions when it comes to those kind of things. That's just where it is right now. So.
And those are the words of Sean George, which is the trainer of Zhang. And he came out and with his own thoughts on AJ. And he feels that AJ doesn't want to fight anymore. And he doesn't want to fight a puncher, and he doesn't want to take risk, and he doesn't want those type of fights. And let me counterpunch. I think, if anything, I think there is truth to that. I think that AJ has fought twice, and I think AJ feels justified by fighting more than any other heavyweight that has, probably besides Jermaine Franklin, but any other top-tier heavyweight. AJ feels that he's justified by the fact that, look, I've fought more than anybody this year. I've already fought twice. I want to fight in December, and I think he's looking for that December date to really be pushed back. Okay, and, you know, Joe Joyce and Zhang, okay, they fought each other twice. Other than that, though, Usyk, he only fought once. Ruiz has not fought at all. Wilder hasn't fought at all. Tyson Fury hasn't fought at all. He will fight this month. Okay, and now if he fights in December, that will make up for his second fight or whatnot. But more than likely, that won't happen, depending on what happens against Francis Ngannou. So I think that, you know, Joshua, because of his activity, because of the amount of fights that he's had this year, he feels justified by his own career in his rebuilding stage. But understand, that is the key word, rebuilding. You know, if he is truly rebuilding, I think that they should keep doing that. But then here's the problem. You can't say that AJ is still rebuilding if he's talking about a Wilder fight. He's not rebuilding anymore. He's now going for broke. And I think that would be a cash out situation. It has to be for so much money. If he does get chinned and gets hurt or knocked out or whatever, it will be enough money for him to walk away from the sport of boxing knowing that, hey, at least I fought one of the three-headed dragons besides myself. You know what I mean? Because Tyson has only fought Wilder, and if AJ can fight Wilder, at least we would have that. Now, we probably won't see an AJ versus Tyson Fury if AJ gets chinned. And I don't really care to see a Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Not saying I wouldn't watch it. I didn't care for it the third time, but we watched it and we were entertained. So I think that would be the best thing to hope for if those guys were to fight again for the fourth time. But back to AJ, though, according to Sean George, it's like, you know, he's got a point. It's like it's almost though he didn't want the Otto Vailene fight. Now, here's the thing, though. People do like to jump on the bandwagon when a fighter starts doing good. Okay? Because if this was April of this year, and AJ, because that fight was on the table. of fighting Zhang Zhang. And AJ was like, okay, I'm going to fight Zhang Zhang. You know the first thing you know what a lot of people would have said? He's ducking. Easy pick'ems. Cherry picking. He's ducking the better fights, the bigger fights. Oh, man, he's really went down. Until Zhang wiped the floor with Joe Joyce. And then the whole thing was different. And then he did it again. Now everybody expects him to fight Zhang Zhang. You see how that shit goes? So I really don't look at that too far. It just shows you what a difference a couple wins makes for a fighter, you know, and where they are and how they're put and how they're looked at and viewed. You know what I mean? But I would like to see the fight. I would say that Eddie Hearn wouldn't want to put Zhang in there with him despite what he says. I don't think that's the case. I think there will be something that Eddie puts in place, you know, that distracts or wedges AJ away from a fight like that with Zhang Zhang. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is. You know, I think AJ doesn't want to fight other fighters because he felt he's fought enough fighters to be fighting every fucking body. For a guy that says, my back for carrying the heavyweight division on it. A guy like that already feels that, hey, I've done enough this year. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to fight anyone. And I think that's probably one of the reasons, if it's not Deontay Wilder, why he's not taking a fight in December, if that's the case. You know, I think that's what it is. I think that's just AJ saying, well, why, you know, let somebody else fight. Where the fuck is Ruiz and Wilder? Tyson Fury, if he only fights and doesn't fight in December, he's fought one time, and really, if he beats the shit out of or plays with Francis, would we be surprised? And really, would have gotten credit for that? You know, it's a lot to consider. It is a lot to consider. You know, and I don't think AJ's just scared. I think Eddie's scared for AJ, but I don't think AJ's scared. I think AJ's looking more of a, you know, in terms of like, look, you guys are not going to work the shit out of me. And I've put in 2 fights this year, whereas that's 2 fights more than any other fighters fought this year. You know what I mean? So he's like, hey, give me a fucking break. And Eddie's like, hey, yo, we want this fight. We want that fight. We'll see if it happens. Eddie's looking forward to the IBF to make the decision. If that decision is done, there won't be any Deontay Wilder fight, period. Now, he may still be talking to people like Shelly Finkel and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that Eddie Hearn is going to turn around or won't turn around and go the opposite direction. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Sean George, the trainer of Zhang Zhang, stating that Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fight anyone anymore, anybody that hits or a puncher anymore. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!